Well, here we are again. Year after year, without fail, I cover another entry into the seemingly endless fluff of Tenchi titles. If only 21-year-old me knew that he would spend the next 7 years talking about a poor, put-upon teenager that inexplicably has half a dozen women after him, and about a third of those women are related to him. Now, keeping in mind what I said during my Tenchi Universe review, I still consider myself a Tenchi fan, but if I'm being honest, the franchise does not make it easy for me to keep saying that. It's no stretch to say that over the course of its 25-year existence, there have been more damp squibs than solid hits. Oh, and by the by, I still haven't seen the 4th season of Ryo-Oki, and judging by the fact that no companies are chomping at the bits to actually localize it and make it legally available over here, I'm not holding my breath. But back to the point at hand, I can't readily explain why I find myself giving Tenchi more and more breaks, especially since when it was bad, it was really bad. The closest I could come to a satisfying explanation is that despite everything, the strength of the characters and their interactions can pull me through even the most insulting moments of the Tenchi canon.
What possible reason could there be for making a joke out of my mother's death?
And that strength will be tested once again, because we are covering yet another low point of the canon. The Mihoshi special, and Pretty Sammy. That's right, we are having a double feature for today's episode, mainly because both OVAs combined are only 4 episodes long. But apparently, I will not rest until I have covered everything Tenchi that has reached our shores.
You know, it's been a while since you've done Marcross.
It's over, old man. God damn.
He doesn't mean you, Brian. I mean, Isamu.
There's no barrier to entry around here, is there? Pioneer knew what they were doing when they packaged these two OVAs together, since they kind of lead into each other. I mean, canonically they don't, but by the end of everything, you'll see what I mean. This is gonna be a marathon, so gear up accordingly. We start things off with the Mihoshi special. Released between the first and the second seasons of the original OVA series, the Mihoshi special might as well be the complete antithesis of the very concept of me, Bennett the Sage. Not as a critic, but as a human being. I make no secret that I have and always will find Mihoshi to be blood-boiling obnoxious, so the notion of an entire episode centered around her sounds like a Fear Factor stunt to me. But this special is important. If you remember what I said during the Tenchi Universe review, you will know that this is the very first animated appearance of Kiyone. So in a way, what the Star Wars Holiday Special was to Boba Fett, this is to Kiyone. You know, just without B. Arthur pouring alcohol into Harvey Korman's volcano head mouth. Or Lumpy. And I will be upfront with all of you, it's not terrible, it's not even all that bad, but by Lord in heaven, was this not made for me? Which, in its own way, is its own kind of glowing recommendation. I mean, kind of. Okay, that's about as kind as I can possibly be to it. Time for me to nut up and finish what I started with the Mihoshi special. We begin with Mihoshi dozing off and then being chastised for it by Ayeka.
All you do is nap all day. How did you get on the Galaxy Police? Hey, now wait! I'm a very competent detective, and I've solved a lot of really difficult cases, I'll have you know.
You really frighten me. You see, I've heard much of your heroic episodes in the past. Now, I hear you're overworked and your performance stinks.
Backed into a proverbial corner, Mihoshi decides to tell everyone the story of her most famous case. But this being Mihoshi, the details are garbled by her insisting on not using the actual names of the people involved, and rather just cast everyone in the Masaki household in her story. And that story is how she solved the case of the stolen Ultra Energy.
And what is Ultra Energy Matter anyway, huh?
It's an ultra energy matter, of course.
So what is it? That's what I'm asking!
It's a matter with incredible ultra energy. You understand now? No, I don't!
Okay, one, while that is stupid, at least it's not Virgin Energy stupid.
It's our duty to our country to protect our virginity!
And two, who in the world said that?
Who are you, Washu or what?
Get out of my head, Ryoko! Get out of my head!
I could sense a serious case was waiting for me, and I was right. When I saw the alarming expression on my partner, Detective Kione's face, I knew immediately how serious things were.
Ah, my spirit animal has arrived. This is the first time we ever see Kione, and my god, this is the most perfect an introduction there could possibly be as far as I'm concerned. There she is, a look of utter and complete contempt carved onto her face, an almost permanent facade worn like a war mask as she has to constantly deal with the blithering, bumbling, incompetent, borderline charity case, Mihoshi.
Now, things are getting better all the time.
You're the last person to tell me that!
Yes! Now put her in a headlock!
Savage, you haven't seen Tenchi before, have you?
What are you talking about? Look! The way that Kione keeps giving Mihoshi the death glare and the constant verbal assault, she's only a heartbeat away from wearing her scalp like a hat! I may not know Tenchi, but I know murder when I see it seething not 4 inches away. Unlike Mihoshi, Kione has the look of a mad, crazed animal, and she will not rest until she has tasted Mihoshi's blood.
Okay. Kione instead fills in Mihoshi on the situation with the space pirate Ryoko and the Ultra Energy, and how Detective Tenchi may have been abducted by her. His fiancée Ayeka demands that the department act with immediacy and extreme prejudice.
On behalf of Jirai Plurocrats, I demand you to rescue Lord Tenchi safe and sound, and then I want you to deal with that dumb Ryoko. Bang, bang, thud, thud, squeeze, 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 until she is finished!
Suppose my targeting was off. Oh.
It doesn't take long for the gang to catch up to Ryoko and Tenchi, and while Kione might have had the situation under control, Ayeka decides to join the Dudleys and get the tables, proceeding to ruin just about everyone's shit. But alas, no Ultra Energy. But they do find her photo album.
What's this? It's just a picture from her childhood. What's wrong with it?
This is the greatest mad scientist in the galaxy. Her name is Dr. Washu.
What? So she's the one behind the scenes.
Oh my god, this is so stupid. I'm surprised Mihoshi didn't come up with it. But that's probably because Mahoshi's too busy releasing Ryoko from prison. Yup, she's so god-dang stupid she releases Ryoko because she thinks she can count on Ryoko helping them out to capture Washu. And guess what? She starts a gunfight and re-kidnaps Tenchi.
The kidnapped investigator is Investigator Tenchi, who had been
Oh! What did you think you were doing, all of you? I was a fool to believe her.
No, you're a fool regardless. The girls aren't out of the action for long as they quickly regroup and head straight to Washu's ship, which begs the question of what in the world did Mihoshi think Ryoko would do that they couldn't do themselves, but they're quickly apprehended in a giant roach motel. Comedy! Unless you're an actual cockroach, and then it's a subtle meditation on the old dying to save the young. God, that was a weird movie. With our heroes crucified and Tenchi at the mercy of Ryoko, Washu unleashes her doomsday weapon. Which is not a galaxy-destroying cannon, oh no. It is way stupider. Rather, it's a giant machine that uses toy hammers to... That's right, Washu is going to Superboy Prime that shit and break the walls of reality itself. Now, you may have that niggling little thought of, if she destroys the universe, wouldn't she also kill herself in the process, so why in the world would she do this? But don't worry, the anime has an explanation.
If the universe is destroyed, you'll cease to exist also. Huh?
Who cares? So long as my power is recognized through the universe, I really don't care. It doesn't matter. So there, I don't care.
Well, that's certainly a long-winded way of saying, I'm insane! It looks like dark times for our heroes, but who should save the day but Sasami, who has transformed into a magical girl to save them. No, I'm serious, that happens. Ryuoki even talks. Play the clip.
Now quick, transform into Pretty Sammy. Yup.
Now, this is where the review goes off the rails. Bear with me. You see, Tenchi is more than just an anime franchise. It's a multimedia franchise spanning manga, novels, video games, and drama CDs, which are basically radio dramas. One such radio drama had the cast being thrown into a number of alternative dimensions, resulting in a reality where Sasami was a magical girl. And because we live in a world that God has abandoned, Pioneer decided to see where this dog and pony show would lead them, and turned Pretty Sammy into an actual animated character, popping up here and having a small cameo in Tenchi Universe. And it didn't stop there. Because of the massive popularity of the character, or because this was just a passion project that spiraled way out of control, Pretty Sammy wound up not only having her own OVA series, but also 2 separate television series made about a decade apart. Now, my only saving grace regarding this is that both TV series were never dubbed, so they'll probably never wind up on Anime Abandoned, though stranger things have happened. However, they did dub the OVA series. But we still gotta finish the Mihoshi special now, don't we? This is like not being able to eat your liver until you finished your onions. At the very least, there isn't much left to the special, as Washu just goes nuts and attempts to throw the kitchen sink at our heroes. And Mihoshi. Luckily, Kiyone ain't having that shit and manages to get the controls away from Washu. But then Mihoshi slips on a banana peel and oops, she killed her and she blew up the ship.
Thank you, Kiyone. Oh, thank you. You sacrificed yourself and you saved all of us.
Mihoshi just killed Kiyone and none of you brain-dead assholes here give a shit? Is stupidity contagious? Seems like it, as we snap back out of the story and reveal that the whole cast just passed out from hearing Mihoshi's bullshit, and we end on a somehow alive Kiyone swearing revenge on Mihoshi, which never happens, though considering how future seasons of Ryuoki turned out, that might have been for the best. And that was the Mihoshi special, and by God, that was not made for me at all. There were a few bits here and there sprinkled through the special that got me to chuckle, and I do appreciate how Kiyone just keeps wishing nothing but death on Mihoshi, because as we all know, misery loves company. But still, just the sheer dumbness of everyone and everything going on is... it's just too much. Really, guys, it's just too much. Even if you're a diehard Tenchi fan, I can't imagine you would want to have this other than to say that you have everything in the franchise. And speaking of the rest of the franchise, we got another title to cover, don't we? Fantastic. Pretty Sammy begins with Tsunami being chosen to rule over all of Jirai Helm, much to the chagrin of her rival Ramia. But being chosen isn't enough to inherit the throne, because she also happens to need to choose her champion, I guess, and she chooses Sasami, and that's why she's a magical girl, okay? Seeing as how nearly every Tenchi anime is set in its own universe, let's see what makes this timeline so different. Again. Seems that Sasami is now Tenchi's sister, and they both live with their mother, which makes this karaoke-obsessed harpy, what is it, Tenchi's third mom? Now that's a children's book that's gonna grab headlines. Tenchi has 3 mommies. As well as a dipshit grandpa. Ryoko and Ayeka are now just feuding classmates over who's going to be Tenchi's squeeze at the school sock hop, and it seems Kiyone and Mihoshi work for Sasami and Tenchi's mom at her CD shop. The only way this could get any more 90s is if they called the CD shop Pretty Sam Goody. From Galaxy Police to retail, life and remakes come at you fast, and just as the two are about to list off their top 5 records to play on a Monday morning, Sasami's mom sends her out to deliver a CD. That's when fate intervenes.
Huh?
You must be Sasami, am I right?
How did you know my name?
My name is Tsunami.
It's nice to meet you, Tsunami. Oh, and can I add...
Beautiful. Beethoven is just the best, don't you agree?
This is Mozart.
Oh!
Well, look on the bright side, Tsunami. You might be embarrassed, but at least you're not in the most embarrassing CD scene in film history. I will never not be baffled by this.
I've come to scout you as a magical girl, Sasami. The reason I'm here, I believe you have special capabilities.
Sounds like a sweet deal to me, Sasami. I mean, think about it. What's the worst that could happen?
Hello, Sasami. I'm Ryo-Oki, and I'll be your partner. What? That animal is talking? Is this magic too?
No. And with that, Sasami gets some new duds and a new mission in life. To make the world a better and happier place. Kind of a nebulous, ill-defined goal, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's no righting wrongs and triumphing over evil. In fact, why does she even need to be a magical girl? If all she has to do to pass this test and thereby crown you queen is to make the world a better place, she could just join the Girl Scouts. You know what I mean. It's jumping ahead, but now's as good a time as any to say that even for a magical girl show, Pretty Sammy flops pretty hard, and nowhere are its problems more apparent than in the very premise itself. Every episode features a monster of the day for Sasami to battle in her own way, but every single one of them was either aided or abetted in some way or form by Ramya and her brother, who are both acting in revenge for Tsunami being chosen. It just seems to me that if you wanted to make the world a better place, you shouldn't have made Sasami a magical girl in the first place. And this speaks to the heart of the real wasted potential of Pretty Sammy. If you were thinking that maybe this had the outside chance of it being a satire of the magical girl genre and its many tired tropes, just with Tenchi characters, then you're in for a sore disappointment. From here on out, the show plays it pretty straight. Sure, there is comedy aplenty, but it's the same Tenchi shtick we've seen in the series before. Simply put, they didn't satirize a bad magical girl show using Tenchi as a medium, they just made a bad magical girl show using Tenchi as a medium. Suffice it all to say, yes, there are laughs to be had here, but they are so not worth the headaches. Getting back on track here, it seems the main consternation of Sasami's during her perilous plight of being Pretty Sammy is that she's embarrassed to be seen in such an outfit. Oh, the poor darling, however will she cope?
It was a dream. I'm so silly. Of course there's no magic. Good morning, Sasami. Ha ha! Oh no, what's wrong with me? I'm still dreaming! You had better wake up to reality.
Considering this is coming from a magical talking cat bunny thing, is reality even a thing anymore?
You're a busy college student, and I've got a lot of time to spare because I failed the entrance exams.
You are so warped, but yes, you did fail your entrance exams.
Nope, I suppose not. Mihoshi got into college. Now I know what it feels like to read Sutter Kane. Alright, I gotta tap the brakes. Is anything going to happen in this godforsaken episode? We're 20 minutes into it, and so far the only thing of note that has happened is that Sasami has become a magical girl, and so is her best friend. That's right, what magical girl anime is complete without the best friend supporting character? And here Sasami has one in the form of the timid Misao, who, when she transforms into Pixie Misa, is a confident troublemaker and the diametric opposite of her normal personality. And you've heard this same song and dance time and time before. Do you see what I mean about this just being another by-the-numbers magical girl show? Yeah, in response to Tsunami being chosen, Ramya and her brother chose Misao to be a nuisance, I guess. Oh, and to also put on a terrible French accent.
Pardon me, but I haven't introduced myself yet. I am the magical girl Pixie Misa!
Pixie Misa?
I feel like at any moment, Kato is going to pop out of a fridge and start strangling her. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, just Ryoko and Ayeka fighting over Tenchi. Nothing new. Except for the fact that Ayeka is dressed like a hefty bag for some reason. Oh, I see, it's to hide her Ranma cosplay. I'm not gonna mince words. The first episode is paced terribly and drags its ass like a dog being led to the vet. Ostensibly, this is the entire episode.
Come on, Ryoko!
Don't start that again!
Oops.
I really mean it this time.
And since the series isn't about Ryoko and Ayeka's relationship with Tenchi, not like the actual main series, their bickering is even more tiring than usual. Oh, and they do nothing else throughout either. From pillar to post, all they do is fight over Tenchi, and he tries to get them to stop. This is literally every single Tenchi detractor's points being made for them. It's almost a relief when their tired shenanigans are interrupted by Pixie as she transforms Ryoko and Ayeka into blob monsters. Of course, this calls for Pretty Sammy to actually do something, but what about everyone finding out about Sasami's identity?
Oh, wow! She's got to be the good sorceress!
What powerful energy! I've never seen anything like it before! She's magical, all right!
Wow, so there really is magic after all, huh?
Oh, yeah. You see? I told you they don't know your true identity. Don't worry.
Alright, look, we got this guy, so we don't have a leg to stand on.
No, don't stop it! Ugh. Somebody
He's mine, I say.
No, I didn't see anything. No, there's nothing behind me.
And you wonder why she's my spirit animal. Alas, we can't pull a Sergeant Schultz so easily, but in a stunning turn against type, it's actually Tenchi that manages to pierce through Ayeka and Ryoko's blob forms and gives Sasami an opening to return them both to normal. I guess some days there is a need for Tenchi. And that was the first episode of Pretty Sammy, which means you've seen the entirety of Pretty Sammy. There really isn't much else to be said about the series that wasn't immediately obvious in the first episode, and since every episode is a self-contained story, there's little point to going over the arcing plot. However, I do want to talk about the second episode, which does manage to salvage the series a bit. Hey, what do you know? We got some dessert after our liver and onions. It's rum raisin ice cream, but hey, at least it's still ice cream. We begin with a megalomaniacal tech bro who seems hell-bent on using his standardized OS to standardize the world!
People all over the world using my software will be connected through my network. World standard! Won't that be wonderful? What I desire is a standardized world. One where no one sticks out. Everyone's a conformist.
Ooh, my gag cup runneth over. Mayhaps Ramya had nothing better to do than to eavesdrop on the guy, but lo and behold, she makes herself known and offers him her powers and help to take over the world.
Why, I could install my software permanently into every computer in cyberspace! Soon every computer would be the same, every program would be the same, and every user would be the same. A standardized world in which everyone shares the same integrated information. Ah, the world would belong to me.
And that's why we don't use Netscape Navigator anymore. Well, Steve Jack Zuckergates takes the bait and becomes the willing stooge and villain of the day. Meanwhile, Sasami's mom is celebrating a new purchase.
Ta-da! I bought a new karaoke machine. Isn't it just cool?
Actually, this is a PC, Mother.
No kidding? But it came with a big Laserdisc player.
Hey guys! Pioneer makes Laserdisc players! Did you know that?
Don't you have some voice acting to do?
No.
Yup, if your interests include retro computer technology, you better get yourself some peanut butter because this episode will be your absolute jam. I mean, for God's sake, they even pull out zip disks. Yeah, remember zip disks, everyone? Remember Palm Pilots? Remember BBS servers? Okay, yeah, I'll stop. Well, at least somebody remembers how annoying Gremlins used to be as Pixie Misa causes their brand shiny new computer to brick. As waging their mom proves to be fruitless, so Sasami and Tenchi set out to buy her a new operating system. Meanwhile, Washu, yeah, she's in the series, but she doesn't really do anything other than fly in and explain to everyone what's going on, much like she did in every other series. Well, she still made a startling discovery.
Emergency? Could it be hackers? Somebody must be being naughty on the internet.
Ooh, boy, Washu. You have no idea. Well, that line certainly is aged like a sherry casket scotch. Savor it, ladies and gentlemen. Savor it like you're sniffing it out of a crystal Glencairn.
That's one of
While dodging passers-by and horrible Sonic ripoffs and Akihabara, Tenchi and Sasami come to the startling realization that only Zuckergates' OS is being sold, due in no small part to Pixie Misa and Ramia's meddling. But who could ever suspect Zuckergates of any wrongdoing? Look at him conveniently patting who I hope are his children's heads as they thank him for his wonderful software.
Well, Tony, how'd you do on your test at school?
Thanks to your software, I aced it.
That's great. And how about your volleyball game yesterday? How'd it go, Mulligan?
You named your daughter Mulligan? Why don't you go and take one and try that again? Also, while we're here, look at these kids. All they're missing are soot-covered clothes, and they're perfect for Dickensian ragamuffins. But in any case, with no stores offering what they need, Tenchi has to resort to the black market?
Password.
Hungry dog, no chow. Bark.
What are you looking for?
Mock System version 8.
You got lucky, kid. I got one copy left on CD-ROM.
Hey, Steve! Quick, Tenchi! Pick it up, along with that case of caffeinated Four Loko! Of course, with contraband in hand, Tenchi is making himself a target of Zuckergates, who has just finished putting on the final touches on becoming interfaced. And with Misa backing him up, as well as a digital army of inside jokes, it seems that the last remaining non-standardized OS will be lost forever. But not if Pretty Sammy has anything to say about it.
With a gentle touch of the keyboard, just click on Pretty Sammy, and you can download me into your heart.
Unless you're talking about laptops back then, you don't click with your keyboard, numbnuts. In fact, these days, you don't even click. Blink and you'll miss this little gem, but looks like somebody here might be thinking that he picked the wrong day to moyase some yon hyakuniju, if you catch my drift. Why, yes, I do live in California. Why do you ask?
Misa, why don't you show Magic Girl what my new network can do? Give her a little demo.
Okay, Biff. I'm feeling very cyber today.
Oh my god, you talk like how assholes think fake gamer girls talk. But apparently, this is but only a segment of the master plan at work, because once after Zuckergate standardizes every piece of software, he's going to standardize the world itself by crashing the moon into the earth with giant magnets.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
Realizing that things have taken a turn for the techness imperative, Misa and Sammy team up to stop Zuckergates from destroying everything, and it looks like they got him on the ropes.
Magical winners!
This is very annoying.
Oh my god. Everyone, the line and read of the entire anime. No, screw that. The entire review.
Excuse me!
This is very annoying.
All right, that's enough.
This is very annoying.
I can't be! I want my karaoke!
This is very annoying.
Oh, dearie me, I'm gonna have to keep this precious little gem safe with the others. Where it belongs. Sadly, the truce doesn't last long, and Zuckergates manages to form a robot that pulls away the moon. And on cue, Washu magics her way back into the story, and she just completely dismantles his network in a matter of seconds. You know, because she's Washu. If the woman is keeping a galaxy-destroying cannon for a rainy day, of course she could turn off the entire internet with a macro.
But where's the software?
Inside that robot, of course.
What?
Come on, don't be a baby. I'll help you get through the portal.
Let's do it, Sammy. No stall around, Sammy. Let's go.
Sammy? Get in the robot. With an opening, Sammy makes her way into the fucking robot, where we learn something important.
What are you doing on my system?
I was trying to find out what bonehead was messing up the net, and now I know, Beth. I didn't create this web so some fool like you could go off on some big power trip, you know.
Oh my god. Washu created the internet. Do you know what this means? It means that Washu is Al Gore. How can Sammy stop this fucking robot from crashing the moon into Earth? And just smash the computer. No big.
Hey there, Tenchi.
Huh? Sasami, Misao. Where have you two been? You had me worried.
Where did they come from? Tenchi, you saw them get out of the fucking robot, you Nimrod! Though his plans are foiled for now, it seems Zucker Gates is hell-bent on creating his standardized world. But it'll have to wait for another day. And that was pretty Sammy. Oh, God. I can't sugarcoat it, folks. I'm exhausted. Not just because this episode has been probably one of my longest I've ever done, but because the series, and yes, I'm including the Mihoshi special in this, are exhausting. I can't imagine what level of fandom you would have to be to not only watch both, but then go on to the full television series afterward. And then on to the other one! The second episode was fun schlock, and it did a lot to make what would otherwise be a teeth-pulling sit bearable, but one episode does not an enjoyable series make. This may be Tenchi, but pain is still pain. Ugh. Hey, I just realized something. Next episode? It's going to be episode number 199. Top 10 list episode? Yeah, top 10 list episode. Till next time.